Hello, and welcome everyone to the El Toro show, the La Liga show, talking about all Spanish football, previewing the games of the weekend that is coming up. Obviously, games on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, all throughout the weekend. Now, before we get started, there is a live poll as for which games I should be doing a live watch along for. So please do obviously vote in the live poll. Should I watch Mallorca against Real Betis, Rayo Vallecano against Girona, or Real Sociedad against Getafe? So those will be the games that I'm offering for you guys to choose for me to do a live watch along for. So basically, let me know all you guys' thoughts and opinions in the live chat as well. And to do it, you hit the like button on the stream and subscribe to the channel right here. Obviously, I have it down here as well. Follow me on X, on Twitter as well. And yeah, let's actually get started with the show today. Now, the first game up on Friday night actually, 9 o'clock. We have Las Palmas against Osasuna. Both teams haven't really been that good at the start of the year. However, Osasuna did make the Copa del Rey quarterfinal. They travel to Real Sociedad in about 2 weeks, I think, 2 weeks from now. So yeah, but overall in the league, both teams aren't really that exciting at the moment. Las Palmas lost their both games since returning to La Liga action, and Osasuna lost the first game back a couple weekends ago, but this past weekend they got a draw at home against Rayo Vallecano. But yeah, in terms of the win percentage, it's actually giving Las Palmas the edge over Osasuna, which I think it's reasonable. But Las Palmas did lose their first home game this year already, which is the game against, if I remember, Getafe a couple weeks ago. But in terms of the table where both teams are, look, Osasuna in 10th, still winless in the past, Jesus Christ, 8-9 games. I kind of expected Osasuna to drop off eventually. They're not really that. They're fun to watch, but they're also they're like the Crystal Palace, as I tell people of La Liga. They can pick up results against the big teams, as you saw with that 4-2 against Barcelona 4 months ago already. Whereas Las Palmas, they've picked up, obviously, since sacking their manager and bringing a new one, but the year hasn't started that well. 2 losses since the return and since this El Toro show has started. So yeah, it's not been great. But let's get through some of you guys' comments. Finally, for the first time, he does appear in the live chat. Ready for some insane stinker. My team, Tottenham, is about to drop against Hoffenheim. Yeah, obviously. I'm not, obviously, shout out to No Filter FC. Let me get his comment up again. Shout out to No Filter FC. Obviously, he's doing a live show after the Hoffenheim-Tottenham game. Where if there's any Spurs fans or even just fans that just enjoy whatever's happening at Spurs, check his live stream out later tonight. But yeah, but as I said about the the two teams, look, both teams not really that impressive, but Las Palmas obviously by the end of last year, calendar year 2024, did pick up a lot of very good results. Obviously, were unbeaten. Obviously, beat Barcelona as well, but obviously, start of the year hasn't been that great. But let's get through some of the potential insights heading into the match. Las Palmas have won just 2 of the last 14 meetings against Osasuna in La Liga. Not a great stat to read for Las Palmas. But following their 2-1 win at El Sadar in the previous match days earlier this season, Osasuna can win both games, do the double over Las Palmas for the first time since the 87-88 campaign, so nearly like 40 something years ago. So yeah, this is going to be a huge result, and I think if Osasuna want to at least pick up some form and actually get a win, because they haven't won in 8 games or something in La Liga, I think they have to beat Las Palmas, even though it is away at Las Palmas. But if you look at how Getafe played against Las Palmas a couple of weeks ago, where Getafe just sat back, absorbed the pressure, and just hit Las Palmas on the counter and got the goals and got the win eventually. So maybe something that Osasuna can look out for, especially with Budimir being one of the obviously standout players for Osasuna. Osasuna have only won 2 of the last 14 away games. So look, it says Las Palmas don't have a great record against Osasuna, but Osasuna don't have a great record away at Las Palmas, which is kind of why they don't really do the double over Las Palmas. Is this true? The last time was a 4-2 win. The last 2 times, a 4-2 win in 1959 and a 2-0 win back in 88 when they did the double. The last time they did the double over Las Palmas. Las Palmas have lost just 1 of the last 11 home games on Friday, and this game is on a Friday, whereby they picked up 6 wins and 4 draws, and obviously lost 1 game. And that 1 game was a game way back in February of 2017, I believe, a 1-0 home loss to Real Sociedad. So it's been a long time. Osasuna, on the other hand, have not won any of the last 6 away games on that are played on Friday. The last time they've done a win on a Friday away is a 2-1 win away at Almeria, who might be back in La Liga next season, back in 2014. So not a great stat. Both teams, have a very mixed record against each other. It's probably like 1 win, 1 loss, and back and forth. And finally, Las Palmas have lost the last 2 La Liga matches, as I said, as many as they had in their previous 9. Obviously, under the new manager, 6 wins, 1 draw, 2 losses since sacking the former manager. And remember, as I said in a couple of shows previously, Las Palmas were, one of the worst teams at the start of the first 8 games of the season, but they sacked the manager. Now they're, I wouldn't say comfortably away from the relegation zone, but they're not in the relegation zone. So at least there's something. But if they were to lose 3 games in a row, it would be the second time this season. Obviously, back in September 2024, when they were in that very, very, to be honest, shit run of form. Let me get to your comments right now. It's just no filter. Smash the likes, yep, obviously. El Toro, the #1 place for La Liga content, and obviously Spanish football. Obviously, near the end of the show, I will talk about just very quick recap on the Segunda, because I think that should be given at least a little bit of light. And can Spurs do a Werder Bremen versus Hoffenheim today? No. Why? Because it's away at Hoffenheim. I know Hoffenheim hasn't done well, but yeah, I do think Hoffenheim get a result. I don't know if a win or a draw. I'll go with a 1-1 in that one. But now it's time to predict who's going to win this game. For me, I'll be honest, I've actually done a lot of preview on Las Palmas and Osasuna, so I'll try to make it quick. I usually try to do 1 hour of this show. That's usually the aim. So I might be quick with the next few games to kind of catch up on time. But prediction, I am actually going for a. You know what? I'll go with a Las Palmas win. I just think that Osasuna will not do the double over. What do you call this? Over Las Palmas. So I think Las Palmas gets their first win of the year. That's what I'm predicting. Basically, I'm going 3-1 Las Palmas is my prediction. Next game right here we have is. Let me just adjust the settings. All right, we have Mallorca against Betis. Both teams in a terrible run of form. Both teams. I do the show with No Filter FC, the one that's in the comments. I said the biggest losers of the past week, probably so far this year, is Real Betis. I mean, they're bringing in Anthony from Manchester United, so not great. And Mallorca, I mean, mate, they did it was like Newcastle Tottenham 6-1. Mallorca were the victims against Villarreal away. 4 goals in the space of like 8 minutes. So Mallorca, terrible, and obviously got knocked out of the Copa del Rey a lot earlier in the competition, losing to Pontevedra, 4th tier, just remember. But win probability, it does lean a little bit more towards Mallorca at 41%. Now, as I said, even despite that 4-0 loss, Mallorca are still 6th, where they started before that game against Villarreal on Monday night, last Monday. But, you know, despite that, they won. Like, the game was over, so they didn't really matter by the end of, after the 30th minute. But Mallorca aren't really. I've said this. I don't think Mallorca will press on. Whereas for Real Betis, they have had a terrible, inconsistent season. But obviously, they can make it up. I mean, I predicted they win against Valladolid. I predicted they beat Alavés in the past 2 El Toro shows that I've done previewing Betis games. I got them both wrong. But Betis, I don't think, or in a relegation battle, but they have not. They've probably been the worst La Liga sides of the 20 teams so far this calendar year 2025. Quick insights into the game, because I do want to make sure I catch up on time. Mallorca, with the win in the previous fixture against Betis 2-1, Mallorca could end their ended their last winless streak against Betis. So pretty good healthy cushion for Mallorca. However, it may spell bad for Mallorca when I make my prediction, I think. Betis have won 3 of the last 4 away games at Mallorca in La Liga, so they have a pretty good record in the Balearic Islands, Islas Baleares. Following the 2-1 win, obviously, in the previous fixture against these two, Mallorca have a chance to win both games against Betis, doing the double since 12-13 campaign. Mallorca have won 2 of the last 3 home games. So, yay, fantastic. Not really something to spell about. As for Betis, have won just 1 of the last 9 La Liga games. So they, as I said, been a terrible run of form. Obviously, as I said, lost the last 2 games. They have not lost 3 in a row since almost 10 months ago of March 2024, when they lost 4 games in a row. I remember a part of that run included a devastating loss against Villarreal, 3-2, I remember. But my prediction, I know I've said Betis wins in the past 2 shows, but I'm actually going to stick with it. I think Betis will win, pick up a bit of form. I'm going with a 2-1 win for Betis. I think that will be my prediction. 2-1 Betis against Mallorca. But I think Mallorca will give a fight. Next fixture, I think is a big fixture, but the reason why I'm not doing a preview, or not really a preview, but a watch along for it, because I've already done Atlético already. So, you know, I want to give as many La Liga teams a lot of coverage. So that's why I didn't put Atleti as a option. But this game, I'll probably just watch on the side if I do have time. Also, it's happening during the Newcastle game, so I'm not sure. But It's Atletico against Villarreal. Both teams in, I don't know how to describe it. It's a bit of a limbo. Obviously, Atletico in a massive advantage, despite losing to Leganés, or as I like to call this team, Leganés. You know. And there we go. AD, will you discuss how Spanish teams in the UCL? I mean, obviously, I'll give a brief, recap on when I discuss each of these teams, and obviously, Atletico, as I said, did beat Leverkusen in the Champions League, which was a very, very, very crucial win for Atleti in their chances of getting into the top 8. So that spells really good for them in terms of the Champions League. A very good performance. Julian Alvarez. I know he didn't do well in the previous game against Leganés, but obviously did the watch long. But he has really found his form since probably November, start of November roughly this season. Obviously, Atletico in the last show was first. Now they're second, obviously, with that loss against Leganés. As for Villarreal, they got a massive 4-0 win, obviously, as we discussed, against Mallorca. So both teams are chasing different aims, I would say. Atletico have won 2 of the last 3 games against Villarreal, so a pretty good sort of ish record so far, very recent record as well. Villarreal have collected points in 7 of the last 10 away games against Atleti in La Liga, having lost in 8 of the previous 12 visits at the Metropolitano. Since Simeone's arrival, Atleti have lost 3 of the 12 home games against Villarreal in La Liga, 5 wins, 4 draws, 3 losses, with only Barcelona and Real Madrid obviously recording victories at the Metropolitano, or the home of Atleti. Atletico's 1-0 defeat against Leganés, as I said, did a watch long, ended a run of 8 consecutive wins for Atleti, but also they have not lost 2 games in a row in La Liga since March 2024, last season. So yeah, hopefully it doesn't, that loss to Leganés didn't hurt them. And finally, Villarreal have lost 2 of the last 3 La Liga away games. Not really that significant, I would say. Prediction: do I think who's going to power on? Will Atleti get the momentum back? I would say it's tough. It will be tough between these 2 teams, I would probably say. But I am actually going to predict I don't know. I'll say I'll actually go with a 3-1 Atleti. I think Atleti will come back, but Villarreal will give them a very good game, I would say. So I'll say a 3-1 win for Atletico Madrid. That's my prediction. 3-1 Atleti. Next up, we have Sevilla against Espanyol on Saturday, 6:30 p.m. Spain time. Obviously, both these sides been okay. Both these teams picked up 4 points since the return of La Liga action. But we do have to scroll down a bit more down the table. Sevilla in 11th above Betis for the first time, I think in a long time we've seen that. On 26 points, not really in big trouble of relegation, but they're only 7 points ahead of Espanyol. But Espanyol, the past 2 games picked up very, very big crucial points. Got the draw against Leganés and then beat Valladolid in the just previous game, which was last Friday. So it was a crucial win, obviously, for Espanyol. There is a slight advantage for Sevilla, 56%, Espanyol only 19%. But this could be a banana skin, I would say. Now, before I continue, let me go to the comments. I remember this match ended in a tie in the reverse fixture. I guess you meant the Athletic Villarreal game. Yeah. I think 2-2 or 3. I know it was a draw, but I forgot the scoreline exactly. And that was when Atleti we're drawing games and not winning. But some insights: Sevilla have not lost in the last 11 meetings against Espanyol, so they have a very, very good record against Espanyol. At home, Sevilla have not lost the last 11 matches. Wait, this is the same shit. Okay. Same stat. Espanyol have not won in any of the last 15 visits at Andalusia. So like Sevilla and Betis, obviously they're traveling to Seville. So Espanyol don't have a great record at the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuan. Sevilla have not lost the last 4 home games in La Liga. So it's a pretty good record, and obviously they got that point against Valencia at their home a couple weeks ago, scoring exactly 1 goal in each. So, look, I think overall, and the final stat, Espanyol have collected 4 points in the last 5 La Liga games. But yeah, I just think I don't know. I feel like this might be low scoring. I'll be honest. I will probably let me just quickly update that. I will probably go with a Sevilla win, like a 1-0 Sevilla. Maybe like Luki Bacchio, who's been kind of clutch for Sevilla so far this season, practically keeping them up. So I'm going with a win for them. Next up, we have Saturday night, Valladolid against Real Madrid. Obviously, this is bottom of the league against top of the league. Probably unlikely to be that by just before at kickoff of this game, but at the moment, look, win percentage 77%. Valladolid only have 9% chance. 9% chance, 9% faith, 9% hope for Valladolid. We'll see. But yeah, Real Madrid, I mean, apart from the 2 losses this season, Madrid, I know people have said inconsistent, not performing well, but they're top of La Liga now, and after everyone has played 20 games. So I'll be honest, right? It's not good reading, I would say, for teams like Barcelona, who were like 10 points clear of Real Madrid. As for Valladolid, look, they got that win a couple weeks ago at home against Betis, but then they lost to Espanyol, a relegation rival, and only 5 points from safety. Practically 6 because their goal difference is a bit shit. So look, it's all to do, and this is a very, very difficult game, and we'll get to Valencia as well because they have a tough fixture as well this weekend. But Valladolid, I'll be honest, right? It's just not been a great season from them. Obviously, Ba, I think, is likely going to move from Valladolid. Look, there's just so many problems at Valladolid, ownership rise. As for Real Madrid, obviously they beat Salzburg. I watched that game last night at a pub, not really a pub, but at nice place to drink. Obviously got a bit of tapas, obviously ensalada, croqueta. Obviously had dos cañas, 2 beers basically. Pretty good match. 5-2 win, actually 5-1. But some insights heading into this game. Valladolid have lost each of the last 6 matches against Madrid without scoring. The longest one they've done that. I've never lost 7 consecutive games. Yeah, I feel like that will happen and be extended. This is not a very good Valladolid team. Real Madrid have scored in their last 7 visits to Real Valladolid in La Liga. So look, not great. It's overall the stats are not good reading. Even if I were to read the other stats of it, look, I'll be honest. Even without reading the rest of the insights and possible stats, could there be a surprise like how we saw Leganés beating Atleti or Getafe getting a point against Barcelona? I don't think so. I think Real Madrid will get the win. And I will probably go with a maybe just like a 3-0 win for Real Madrid. I think Real Madrid will maintain the top of La Liga for them. Next game, 3-0, I'm saying, for Real Madrid. Next game, this one is one of the games that I have up in the poll. I'll check the poll. I don't actually know what the current stats are. Hopefully, some handful of you guys have voted. But we have Rayo Vallecano against Girona. Both these sides inconsistent, but not in a terrible position at the moment. Look, it even says here win probability 35 to Vallecano, 34 to Girona, so it's practically the same. So it's pretty even. Like you can see either team winning or drawing. Because both teams are 8th and 9th, even though Girona are above them by just actually 2 points. But Vallecano have been unbeaten, albeit they've been drawing so many games. But and that one win was against Celta Vigo. But yeah, for this game, right? Look, I don't think either of these teams will get European football by the end of this season. I'm just going to say that. Both of them, even if Girona, get something in their final match day, which they won't really, against Arsenal actually at home. But look, the stats of these teams, Girona have not lost any of the last 7 games against Vallecano, 4 wins, 3 draws, which is a pretty good record they have at the moment against Vallecano. Whereas Vallecano have not won any of the last 3 home games against Girona, 1 draw, 2 losses. So not great reading because obviously Vallecano are hosting this game. Girona won their last visit to a Madrileña side in La Liga. Obviously that 1-0 win away at Getafe, which is pretty easy to do. Having lost each of the last 4, but obviously they have a pretty good record against Girona. Against Vallecano. So it's so far been very good reading for Girona. As for Vallecano, have not lost any of the last 6 games in La Liga. 2 wins, 4 draws, so a pretty good record. Having lost the previous 3 before then. And obviously they have the most draws in La Liga so far this season, 8 alongside Getafe and Osasuna. Probably not going to happen, or it could continue, but we'll see. And after 5 consecutive away defeats between February and April, Girona have lost only 4 of the last 13 away games in La Liga. 5 wins, 4 draws, 3 losses. As for a prediction, it does say that it's a little bit more better for Girona, and I think it will be better for Girona. I think it'll be a 2-1 win for Girona. I think they will just have the edge in this game against Vallecano at home. At their home. But yeah, the next game. So we have 4 more games to go. We have Sociedad against Getafe, another game that I have put in the live poll for a watch long. Obviously, I don't even know what the current poll scores are, and I usually end the poll by the end of the stream, basically. But yeah, Real Sociedad against Getafe on Sunday. Obviously, leaning towards the favor of Real Sociedad getting a win here, but they did lose against bottom side, or now no longer bottom, Valencia in their previous game, despite beating Villarreal just before that. So look, Real Sociedad just really inconsistent so far this season. Look, 8 wins, but also 8 losses. So not really that fantastic, I would say, from Sociedad. As for Getafe, they're 16th. They're just a point above the relegation zone, but unbeaten in the past 2 games. Obviously, that win away at Las Palmas, and they got the draw at home against Barcelona. So, look, I know they have a pretty good goal difference in terms of the rest of the teams, really. But look, as I said, Getafe are a bit boring to watch. This could be a pretty boring watch, I would say. But look, I'll be honest, right? This game, yeah, has a potential of it's another banana skin, I would say. But some insights. Sociedad have not lost any of their last 4 games against Getafe, so they have a good record, but have never gone 5 consecutive games without defeat against Getafe in La Liga. So something they could make something happen. History. Sociedad have not lost any of the last 4 La Liga home games against Getafe. So good reading so far. Getafe have not won any of the last 14 visits to the Basque country in La Liga. The last win away was a 2-0 away win against Athletic Club back in February 2020. That was, I don't even want to mention COVID, but yeah, around that time. So it's just not good reading so far for Getafe. And Sociedad have lost 2 of the last 3 La Liga matches. Obviously, one of them being against Valencia in their last game. Getafe won 2-1 against Las Palmas, as I said, but they've never done it 2 in a row away from home in La Liga since February 2020. So, look, I'll be honest, quick prediction. I think it'll be a boring, hopefully not if I'm ending up doing this game, but I'm going with a 1-0 win for Real Sociedad. Just let me quickly update. Yeah, so I'm going with a win for Sociedad, 1-0 win for Sociedad. Next up, it's the other Basque team, the other big Basque team. Unfortunately, lost to Besiktas in the Europa League on Tuesday, I believe, and they're playing against. There we go. Leganés, people. Leganés. Look, I'm not a Leganés fan, but just to celebrate their victory of Atlético, not Athletic Club. But yeah, even with that win over Atleti, Leganés only at 11% win probability, whereas Athletic Club have a 70% chance. But look, Athletic Club have been in a good run of form. But the thing is that it's been a very, very good run from Athletic Club, but that loss against Besiktas, I believe. I'm pretty sure it was against Besiktas. Or Gala. Pretty sure it's Besiktas, if I'm not mistaken. Which was not a good result. And look, that can bring some confidence to Leganés, who just beaten Atletico. So look, not great. But Athletic Club at the moment in the top 4, 6 points clear of the closest challengers, Villarreal, obviously 9 points clear of the next challengers, Mallorca, and even 11 points clear of their big rivals, Real Sociedad and Girona behind as well. So Athletic Club look at the moment set for European football, but obviously they want to secure Champions League football. Hopefully, more likely, hopefully for them to win the Europa League. As for Leganés, that win over Atletico Madrid has really helped them. It had put them up to 15th now in the league. And if they get a win, they could actually go even further up the table, depending on other results. But a win away at Athletic Club will be a spectacular result at the moment. But yeah, let's actually look at some of the insights heading into this game. After 3 consecutive wins between 2018 and 19, Athletic Club have only won one of the last 3 games against Leganés in La Liga. The last one was that win 2-0 back in September. At home at the San Mamés, Athletic Club have only lost one of the last 4 fixtures against Leganés. The obviously the previous one was, and the only loss was a 2-0 loss back in July 2020. as well. So I blanked it. Leganés have collected points in each of the last 6 visits to Basque teams. 1 win, 5 draws. Look, it's looking for good reading at the moment for Leganés. Leganés Athletic Club have not lost any of the last 11 La Liga matches so far. So they're on a very good run. 7 wins, 4 draws. Their longest unbeaten run since October 1985 under Javier Clemet, where they went 11 wins and 5 draws in 16 games. So they're building up to that potential at the moment, but the guys have collected points in each of the last 3 away games. Obviously, that famous win away at Barcelona being the most memorable. Look, I know they're on a good run of form, Athletic Club, but to be honest, right, I don't know if it's just me, but I could actually see Leganés picking up a result. I actually do. I'm actually going with let's go 2-1. 2-1 Leganés. That'll be my prediction. 2-1 Leganés. I think they will continue a very good run of form. Leganés, people. Leganés. Next up, we have Barcelona against Valencia. Now, obviously, both teams quite struggling, but Valencia did win the previous game. Barcelona kind of did win the previous game. Obviously, a 5-4 win away at Benfica, being 4-2 down. Someone, Pavlidis of Benfica, scoring a hat-trick against Barcelona, and Barcelona still win. Do I feel alone on anyone? I don't know. Just saying. But Barcelona overwhelming favorites, 80%. I'm pretty sure they're not somehow going to look a big hope win for Barcelona, and only 8% for Valencia. 20-something years ago, that would not be the case, even at Camp Nou, even at the Olympic Stadium in Montjuic. But at the moment, look, the table does not lie. Barcelona, I wouldn't say comfortably in the top 4, but they've not won a La Liga game in the last 4. Not won a La Liga game since the new year as well. And remember, they beat Real Madrid 4-0. Meanwhile, you have to scroll all the way down to Valencia, down here. But the good thing is that they picked up a win against, if I have to remember, against Real Sociedad at the Mestalla. So, look, Valencia, they have at least picked up a win, but if they really, really need to, I feel like Valencia really need to pick up a win in at least one of the next 2 games, I feel like, but this is the toughest of the 2, I would say, away at Barcelona. But some stats over the history of this fixture. This is a famous fixture, obviously. Valencia have drawn 46 of their 179 matches against Barcelona, the highest number of draws against an opponent in La Liga ever. Barcelona have won 7 of the last 8 games against Valencia, and 1 draw, having won just 2 of the previous 7. But now, obviously, this downward spiral of Valencia, that's what I'm trying to say, has not been great for Valencia. So it seems things are pointing towards a Barcelona win, I would say. At home, Barcelona have not lost to Valencia since April 2016. I remember that 2-1 away win for Valencia, and are on their second longest historical streak, scoring against Valencia at home in La Liga. 20 games, 53 goals. Damn. So it's a pretty good streak there on Barcelona against Valencia. Barcelona have not won any of the last 4 La Liga games, as I said, but they have not gone 5 without a win since April of 2008, where they got 3 draws and 2 losses under Frank Rijkaard. So Valencia, if they want to pick up at least a point or even a win, obviously they have to aim for a win, because a draw doesn't really help that much. They have to inflict something historic, first time in like almost 17 years. After 3 consecutive defeats between November and December of 2024, Valencia have collected points in 4 of the last 5 La Liga games, obviously getting a win in their previous one. So look, it's Valencia have picked up some bit of form under Corberan, but just not fully enough. Look, I know they've picked up points in 4 of the last 5, but they only picked up 1 win, which is not great for Valencia, I would say. So if I'm going to be honest, right, I do see Barcelona winning. But it will be close, but I might have to go with a 2-0 win for Barcelona. I think it will be a big win for Barcelona to at least get them back on track in the title race. 2-0 Barcelona. Final game on Monday Night Football. We have Deportivo Alavés against Celta Vigo. Now, obviously, it does say here that both teams are quite even in terms of the win probability. And look, remember to Celta Vigo. Look, they may be 13th, but they're only 4 points ahead of Alavés. So obviously, Alavés hosting Celta Vigo. Look, if certain results don't go Celta's way, Celta could be in a relegation dogfight despite being like okay this whole season, I would say. But look, Celta on. Look, I know I have my Deportivo La Coruña bias, but Celta, look, they're fun-ish to watch, but they just don't really win games. Obviously, that red card in that previous game, Marcos Alonso against Athletic Club at home in the Bailados wasn't helpful for Celta. As for Alavés, they got big win away at Betis, a 3-1 win whereby Kike Garcia got a hat trick, if I remember correctly. So a very crucial and big win away at Betis. So Celta, they are looking like in deep shit. I'll be honest. So we'll see. And Alavés obviously just above the relegation zone by a point. So if they want to make sure they have some sort of clearance away from that, they have to get a win at home, which I think is doable. Not saying with my bias, but I can see it. They don't provide, unfortunately, the match stats or the insights of the game. But I will be honest, right? I honestly think that Alavés could get a big result here. I think they can. So I'm actually going to predict I'll predict another 2-1 win for Alavés. I think they can get a big win away. I mean at home against Celta on Monday night. So I'm going with a 2-1 win for Alavés in that game as well. All right, now it is time for one of the segments I like. It's called the El Toro de la Semana, which basically means the bull of the week. Who was the man of the match or the man of the weekend in La Liga? I have to remember correctly. I do have 2 names. First one is the Leganés goalkeeper, Marko Dimitrovic. Obviously got a clean sheet against Atleti. Obviously beaten Atleti. Was pretty good in goal as well, and was given the man of the match. The other name, we were just talking about Alavés. We were just talking about his hat trick. Kike Garcia is the other one of my other candidates. Now, which one was more beneficial? Was it the clean sheet or the hat trick? I think it's tough. It's tough to consider who's the Toro de Semana. But my selection is I'm going with not, unfortunately, even so I'm running the score for Leganés. But I'm actually going with Kike Garcia, the hat trick he did away at Betis. He wins the El Toro de la Semana of the El Toro show. So Kike Garcia of Deportivo Alavés has the award. Woo! Congratulations to him. Not really, I'm not going to stand with some weird ass award, but yeah, he does win the El Toro de la Semana for his hat trick away at Real Betis, getting a crucial win for Alavés. Now, let's get on to some Segunda, La Liga Dos, Segunda action. Now, obviously, just a quick recap of the matches that happened this past weekend. And obviously, I'm a little bit happy, a lot more happier. But here are the results from the Segunda. Going in order, we have Oviedo beating Cartagena, which does very much help Oviedo. Cartagena more likely by the week, likely to get relegated. We have Eldense losing 4-1 in a relegation 6-pointer, believe it or not, against Cadiz. Cadiz getting a big win to go clear of that relegation zone. Eibar, not Eibar man, Messi. Eibar getting a 1-1 draw against Albacete. So a good result for Albacete getting a draw. Sporting Gijón getting a 1-1 draw against Elche. Obviously Elche getting that red card, but they managed to get the point away at Gijón. Levante have started to also creep up the table in terms of getting into a potential automatic promotion spot. They got 3-1 win at home against Granada, and Granada, they're okay. They're playoff pushers, but they're not automatic playoff or automatic promotion pushers. They're like mid-table, just below the playoffs. And obviously, we had about at the bottom of not really bottom of the table, but just above the relegation zone. But it's happy times for me as a Deportivo La Coruña fan. We got a 1-0 win against Burgos. Obviously, Mr. Clutch himself, Mario Soriano, getting the goal for Depor, but we made fucking difficult hard work of it. Made our goalkeeper, man, oh god. Just see the highlights of Burgos against Depor, and you guys will know what I'm talking about. The goalkeeper for us, Depor, Herman. Oh god. But look, we got the win. But before we move on, it is announced, unfortunately, for any Deportivistas like myself, Lucas Perez will not be at Deportivo La Coruña anymore. He will leave and join, I believe, Rayo Vallecano in La Liga, obviously. So before carrying on with the rest of the results, to Lucas Perez, because he did score that free kick against Barcelona B or Barcelona Athletic. Obviously, you can check that vlog out on my channel. That was a very good vlog. Got a lot of views and all that. A very good day for any Deportivista, winning back promotion to the Segunda. But hopefully, we get back to La Liga sometime very soon. Hopefully, not relegated. Knock on wood. Knock on wood on that. But yeah, I will to Lucas Perez. Muchas gracias para tu contribución para el Deportivo de La Coruña. Buena suerte en tu viaje, to your trip or your adventure on el Rayo Vallecano, with Rayo Vallecano. So yeah, to Lucas Perez, thank you very much for your contribution for Deportivo La Coruña, and good luck in your journey, your trip to with Rayo Vallecano. But yeah, moving on. But we did get that win against Burgos, so kind of ended nicely for us. And then the big beatdown of the other Galician club, Racing Club Santander beat Racing Club Ferrol 6-0, an embarrassment from Ferrol. Racing Santander finally got some big win for themselves. Hopefully they can capitalize it in this upcoming weekend. And then we have Cordoba winning away at Castellon, a very crucial win for Cordoba. Zaragoza drawing 2-2 at home against Tenerife. Look, well, you'll see where Zaragoza now, like, mate, they were like in the top 6. Now they've dropped off. Almeria, the team that's still top of the Segunda, got a 0-0 draw at home against Huesca, and Huesca have been a very, like, a surprise package of La Liga this Segunda this season. And finally, Mirandes finally got back to winning ways, beating Malaga 3-2 on Monday night. Now, let us go to the table, the Segunda table. Let me zoom in. There we go, people. So the Segunda, shit, come on. All right, hopefully you guys can see. All right, yeah, you guys can see. Perfect. So here's how it is at the moment. We have Almeria in first on 43 points, and Racing Club Santander in second on 42 points. So those two teams now have the automatic promotion spots after 23 games. However, look at the points tally after that. Mirandes in third on 41, Elche on 40 in fourth, Levante on 39, as well as Real Oviedo. And they complete the top 6, obviously 3rd to 6th, get into the playoffs. But look, things will change because even below Oviedo and just outside the playoffs, the main contender right now is Huesca, who got that very big away draw against top table Almeria. Meanwhile, Granada on 8th, but not really picked up much. Sporting Gijon have not won in a long time and probably are starting to drop, but we'll see how they do continuing on. Eibor man on 32, Malaga also on 31, Zaragoza are basically the top of the bottom half. They have really struggled to pick up their form of recent, but they're all only on 30 points, but 9 points now away from even just 6th place Oviedo. Cordoba, obviously, getting a crucial win against Castellon, brought them above Castellon. Castellon are now in 14th. They've lost 4 games in a row, and they had a pretty decent season so far, but the past 4 games, obviously, as a Deportivo fan, we beat them 5-1 just before the Christmas break and all. Look, Castellon, I wouldn't say they're out of the depth, and obviously not doing well at the moment. Obviously lost to Cordoba, who just above them. Deportivo La Coruña, thank fuck, we got a win finally to start the year. Hopefully that means we carry on despite the departure of Lucas Perez. But 15th, not great, and we do have a game in hand. So actually, if we win, we actually go up to the top half. If we win that game in hand, which is against Tenerife, not this midweek, I think, if I'm not mistaken, but it's next week. Midweek replay Tenerife, which was rescheduled because of weather in Tenerife. I don't know how. Okay, and then Albacete and Cadiz, and then you have Burgos. So those are the teams just above the relegation zone. And then the relegation zone, which is the bottom 4. We have Eldense on 21 points in 19. We have Racing Ferrol on 19 points, but they are now 8 points behind. Eldense are only 6 points behind, but not looking good for Eldense. And Tenerife and Cartagena both on 15 points, even though Tenerife have a game in hand. But even if they win that game in hand, hopefully not, because it's against Deportivo, they will still be in 21st. So look, at the moment, it might look like the relegation battle might be pulling away for the bottom 4 of Eldense, Racing Ferrol, Tenerife, and Cartagena. But still, lots of La Liga Segunda to go. before the season, comes to a close eventually. But yeah, that is it for the El Toro La Liga show. So, got 2 votes actually. So I'll end the poll at the end of the show. Actually, 3 votes. Let me just make sure all the votes have been accounted for. But at the moment, okay, I will end the poll. I will end the poll right now. And after 3 votes, 67% said Rayo Vallecano versus Girona will be the game I will be doing a live watch along for. So I end the poll. All right, I've ended the poll. So the game I will be doing this weekend will be between Rayo Vallecano and Girona, which is on Sunday, 2 p.m. Spain time. So I'll set up the stream for that just by the end of this. But now it's time to wrap things up here of the El Toro La Liga show. Obviously, a show that I do every Thursday, 6 p.m. Spain time, 5 p.m. UK time, 12 p.m. Eastern, New York time, basically, in the US. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining. Obviously, please do hit the subscribe button on the channel. Follow me on X, on Twitter. Obviously, like the stream if you're watching it on playback. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. And I will see you guys on Sunday for my live watch along, which you guys chosen. That being Rayo Vallecano versus Girona. And until then, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.